Good day, everyone. This is Mary Rose Carmona, and I will be your lecturer for today. We will be discussing overview of lymph nodes, structure, function, and clinical significance. So first, immune system provides defense or immunity against infectious agents that range from viruses to cellular parasites. Histologically, this system consists of a diverse population of leukocytes within the tissue of the body and lymphoid organs interconnected only by the blood and lymphatic circulation. However, it is also capable of causing injury and diseases. Autoimmune diseases or immune cells begin to function abnormally and attack molecular components of the body's two organs. And we also have immunity, which is a protection from infectious pathogens. And we have two types of immunity, which are innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Innate immunity is immediate, non-specific actions including physical barriers such as the skin and mucous membranes of the gastrointestinal, respiratory, and urogenital tracts that prevent infections or penetration of the host body. Adaptive immunity aims at specific invaders and acquired gradually by exposure to microorganisms and is slower to respond. It produces memory cells and mediated by lymphocytes and antigen presenting cells. Now moving on to lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are bean-shaped encapsulated organs that vary in size from 10 millimeters to 2.5 centimeters. And we have about 400 to 450 lymph nodes in our body and predominantly found in the axillae, groin, major vessels of the neck, thorax, abdomen, and visceral mesenteries. Each lymph node has distinct parts that facilitate its function. First is afferent lymphatics, which are the vessels through which lymph arrives at the lymph node, and efferent lymphatics, which are the vessels through which lymph exits the node. And to simplify this, we can remember as AA and EE, which means afferent arrives and efferent exits. So, the internal structure of a lymph node is supported by a network of reticulin fibers creating a stroma that forms three distinct regions. First is the outermost region or the outer cortex, and it contains lymphoid nodules and a subcapsular sinus. Next is the paracortex, and it is located between the cortex and the medulla and contains T cells and high endothelial venules. Lastly is the medulla, which is the innermost region composed of medullary cords and sinuses. Moving on to the process of lymph flow, the first step is the arrival of lymph in lymph node, and B and T cells will filter the lymph or HEV, and the lymphocytes will then recognize this antigen, and the B cells and T cells will be activated. After this step, activated B cells will differentiate into plasma cells and move to the medulla to produce antibodies. Specific cells will spread defenses in the efferent lymphatics, and the B and T memory cells will move elsewhere to provide protection. Next is the various diseases of lymph nodes which can affect their ability to function properly and impact our overall health. First is the lymphadenopathy, which refers to the enlargement of lymph nodes, which can occur due to infections, autoimmune diseases, or malignancies. And remember, common examples of these include strep throat, mononucleosis, and tuberculosis. Moving on to lymphedema, which refers to the swelling that generally occurs in the arms or legs due to a blockage in the lymphatic system. Primary lymphedema is inherited condition that affects the development of lymph vessels, while secondary lymphedema, often caused by surgery, radiation, infection, or cancer treatment that damages the lymphatic system. Other disorders of the lymph node includes lymphangitis, which refers to the inflammation of the lymphatic channels, usually resulting from a bacterial infection. And symptoms of these include red streaks on the skin, fever, chills, and swollen tender lymph nodes. Next is sarcoidosis, which refers to inflammatory disease that affects multiple organs in the body, particularly the lungs and lymph nodes. Symptoms of this disease include enlarged lymph nodes, especially in the chest, along with lung involvement leading to cough and shortness of breath, skin rashes, and eye inflammation. And that is all for our discussion today. I hope you learn a lot and see you next meeting.